Said to my daughter, you don't matter. It's a sad day in Alabama, man. I feel like crying for real. I really do. But I'm gonna hold my tears back. Because what you just said to my little girl, that it's okay for a man to rape you, and you got to have his baby if you get pregnant. You just said to my little girl, my little loving little daughter, you just said to my daughter, you don't matter. You don't matter in the state of Alabama. That you can just be raped, or one of your uncles or your cousin or somebody could just rape you and impregnate you, and you gotta carry this baby under Alabama law. Because baby, if you have this abortion, this doctor gonna go to jail for 99 years.
And I'm triggered as a mother because I'd like to know why my children ages 13 and 17 are coming home and asking me if I'm pro-life. You're telling me that people aren't letting Arthur be aired on television featuring a gay marriage, and first of all, I am pro-life for myself and my body, but I'm pro-choice for you and yours, because I've never walked a mile in your shoes and I've never lived your pain. So to each his own. And for the men who are over here making these laws, I'm triggered at the fact that why have you even made a law and passed abortion laws when you're not even thinking about the families at the border? Or better yet, why have you not passed any gun control laws so that our children aren't mowed down in their schools?
Religion shouldn't necessarily play a role in politics, but people are definitely biased due to their religious beliefs.
According to a Gallup poll conducted in 2012, 54% of people who are Catholic also identified as being pro-life, as well as 57% of people who identified as either Protestant or of other Christian religion associated themselves with being pro-life. An important percentage to note in this chart is that 58% of postgraduate students identified themselves as pro-choice. As you go further down the line, the level of education decreases as it starts from postgraduate to high school graduate or less. This shows that an individual of a higher education is more likely to identify themselves as pro-choice.
According to an article published in the New York Times regarding whether or not religion should play a role in politics, Americans for the most part agree that religion has no place in our public life.
Because I am a Catholic, my faith states that all life is precious, no matter the situation. But in the very rare circumstances of pregnancy by rape and danger to the mother, the choice could go either way. The reason I say this is because rape is a sin and is one of the worst acts a human can commit. So reasonably, a victim of rape wouldn't want to bring a child into this world that has the heredity of their rapist. Yet, in the Bible, it states that everything happens for a reason by God's plan, even in the darkest moments in someone's life. So even though this child could be a burden to someone mentally and emotionally, the child is still innocent and in a sense should be saved. And in this situation of endangerment to the mother's life, the child should only be aborted if there is no possible way to save the mother without partaking in this procedure.
I think that the first way that the public is wrong is the fact that they keep defining, like, okay, what it means to be pro-life, what it means to be pro-choice. But I think that this type of mass media concentration, and like when people try to uniformly define a term, what it ends up doing is it ends up defining people and like labeling them and kind of polarizing what we are. But I think that people should be free to believe what they want. Like, after all, at the end of the day, like, you may not agree with what I say, and I may not agree with what you have to say, but just the fact that we can say it, and that's like the beauty of America. So I think that when people attack people who are pro-choice or pro-life, saying, oh, you're being hypocritical, like, you can't believe one thing, believe that, like, you can believe whatever the hell you want, because like, that's America, and like, that's like the beauty of it.
The new laws passed in Alabama regarding abortion definitely further divided the public's opinion on abortion. After the law was passed, both Democrats and Republicans were going back and forth about their views on social media.
Since Trump entered the office, but even more profoundly when Kavanaugh became a Supreme Court justice, I think that everyone was thinking about Roe v. Wade and like what possible implications that it would have on it. But I think that the laws in Alabama just became a point for the media to focus on and realize that like they're the first state to do it, yeah, but other states can do this. And I think that what ended up happening there was inevitable, because if not Alabama, some other state would have challenged it. But I think it's also like a wake-up call, like, hey, like, this is happening. And you know what's so funny? I think that like 5 years ago, people like thought that Roe v. Wade was just ingrained in our system of government and that there was nothing that could challenge it. And now here we are in a stage where women are unprecedentedly succeeding, and people, I think, are scared of that. And of course, there's a movement to suppress women. So I think that although the media is focusing on the issue right now, I think that since Kavanaugh got inaugurated, it was kind of like something that everyone knew was going to happen but didn't want to talk about. But I think this was a tipping point, and I think now people are like forced to deal with it, essentially.
I think that anything is possible in this day and age. There is a strong push from the public to overturn Roe v. Wade, but based on how the Supreme Court votes, it may be very difficult to overturn this decision.
I think that if this gets to the Supreme Court, it will most definitely overturn Roe v. Wade. I don't even think that's a question anymore. I think that the justices that are on the court right now are the majority of them are conservative.